Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and
Joel. Okay, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jellyfish Joel.
You already used that one, but hey,
Did I?
Hey guys, what's up? I think on
Okay.
I mean,
I
by
did
this
Jelly
point,
Bean.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you did Jelly Bean. Apparently.
Not jellyfish. All right, so we are finally going to get to our Nightmare on Elm Street series. Yes. We're starting that one on this episode with the original from 1984.
What? We're not starting on like 4?
A Nightmare on Elm Street. So, who is in this?
All right. So this one stars, you may know him. His name is Robert Englund.
Yes.
He plays a little character called Freddy Krueger in the series. He was in Wishmaster. So I have to look up these because we're gonna be doing like 18 movies, so Nightmare movies. Yeah. So it's there's probably gonna be some duplicates for these movies.
He's in a lot of stuff.
He is in a lot of stuff.
A lot of bad stuff.
Yeah. Some good, but yeah, mostly pretty much bad. Wishmaster, Hatchet, Night Terrors, and okay, I just had to throw this one out there because I saw it and I couldn't let it slide. Elton John, Can You Feel the Love Tonight video.
What in the world? Oh my gosh. That's funny.
I was like,
Can you feel this? So that's the Lion King.
Yeah. I was like, I can't not talk about that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
How is he in the music video? Isn't it cartoon?
Yeah, well, he's mentioned as like a vocalist or a lyricist or like a vocalist. Like, I don't know if he's a background singer for I don't know. I haven't watched the video. I have no idea. I kind of want to now, but
he's a background singer. Oh man, I'm just thinking of Freddy singing.
Can you feel?
Can you feel the love tonight, bitch?
All right, kind of got off the tracks there, but I had to. I just couldn't resist that one. Heather Langenkamp, yeah, she was in Shocker, Star Trek Into Darkness, and Hellraiser Judgment.
Oh, she's in a couple of the other Nightmare movies too.
Yeah. I didn't want to mention because we'll be talking about those. I don't want to mention any like Nightmare movies as I'm trying to branch out here.
Yeah.
John Saxon.
Yes.
Who plays the dad? He's in Enter the Dragon. The Bruce Lee story.
Yeah.
Hellmaster. And Beverly Hills Cop 3. Oh man, and Johnny Depp. Like I didn't want to put him as a. Everyone knows who he is. So.
Yeah. What's he been in?
It was written by Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Wrote The Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes, and The People Under the Stairs. And it was directed by Wes Craven. He directed Swamp Thing, The Serpent and the Rainbow, which I do want to see. Heard it was pretty good. Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, yeah. And just to show you that he's done more than just horror movies.
Okay.
He directed Music of the Heart with Meryl Streep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do remember that now. Because, we'll talk about it later. But,
okay. So random it is that...
Yeah.
It's like a feel-good, like, uplifting movie, too.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is about the monstrous spirit of a slain child murderer seeks revenge by invading the dreams of teenagers whose parents were responsible for his untimely death.
So why not kill the parents? Why the kids?
That's a good question.
Not terrorize the parents. They're the ones that did it to you.
Yeah. But kids have nightmares. Yeah. I mean, I guess adults do too. But
adults can have nightmares too.
Okay. So, I mean, this is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited that we're doing this series finally.
Yeah.
Freddy is awesome. And so, how many are there?
8 or 9.
8. Yeah.
8 or 9. 8 or 9.
Whatever.
I don't know if the reboot was 8 or if that one was 9.
Yeah. So we're gonna do all of them, including Freddy vs. Jason, and including the reboot, remake, whatever they call it these days.
Yeah, remake for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like almost identical.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some differences.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Joel, what did you like about this masterpiece?
This masterpiece. This classic masterpiece. I really like Freddy. I think he had a couple of like little one-liners in this one here and there, but I mean, this is more of his serious role.
Yes, that's
as
true.
Freddy. He becomes more silly and has a lot more one-liners in future movies, but they wanted to keep this one pretty much a straight horror movie.
Yeah.
Which they did a good job for, 80s technology and being a slasher film and everything like that. I liked... So, I don't know if it's a negative or it's a positive. So, this might be in the middle, because I feel like Wes Craven was trying to do something that he probably didn't need to do, as far as making this whole movie make it feel like it's a dream. I don't know, because at some points, like the hazy filter will be on it in scenes that they're not even sleeping. So there's several scenes in this movie where it's like, are they that you're not sure if they're actually awake or if they're sleeping. Yeah. Like the very beginning of the movie, like right after the scene where it's obvious that she's in a dream, like she's running from Freddy. Nancy and her friends are in the car. Yeah. And it still has that hazy lens over the camera. Right. And then you see the three girls, like a couple houses down, jump roping. Right. Doing the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Yeah. As the car is pulling up, it's still hazy lens. As soon as they get out of the car, it's gone. Yeah. So it's like, was she sleeping in the car and then woke up when they got there? Yeah. Or it just...
I didn't notice all the... I noticed the change in, like, feel at the very, very end. I noticed that it was, like, kind of hazy. Yeah. When she's walking out and it's like, everything's perfect and her mom's back alive and, all of her friends are alive. And that seemed, like, hazy to me. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really notice it with other scenes. Although I do have a theory about the movie, and I don't know if Wes Craven meant to do this or if it just turned out this way to me. But so,
well, I mean, the whole movie would have to be a dream, because it's the only movie that everybody comes back at the end of it. Yeah. So does that mean that this whole movie from the time that she dreams and catches Freddy and wakes up, or quote unquote wakes up, and he's in the real world with her. That has to be a dream still.
Yeah.
Because she kills him, quote unquote kills him, and brings everyone back. And then the next day is the mom's dragged through that little tiny glass window.
In the door.
In the door.
Yeah.
And then the car turns into like a Freddy car. Okay. So it's like where does the dream end? So that's where I'm not sure if it's a positive or negative for me, because I feel like Wes Craven was doing more than he needed to do for a slasher movie.
Yeah.
And something that I don't think he did I think it's the only one that feels like that. Mm-hmm. Like everyone else who dies in future movies, they die. Yeah. This is the only one that it's clear that it's still a dream because everybody comes back to life. Right. And if anybody's not coming back to life, it's Johnny Depp getting sucked through that through the bed. Yeah. Like gallons of blood pouring out of that bed. Way more than he has. I don't know. He turned to liquid in that, so it's like he wouldn't be coming back if this were any other movie. So yeah, that's sort of a neutral for me because I don't know what Wes Craven was thinking. Yeah, when he was making it, because it felt like he was doing more than he needed to do for this movie. The acting was probably some of the best as far as these movies go. Mm-hmm. It's going to get worse and worse throughout the series. I'm calling it right now. But it's still not great. It's still 80s slasher quality acting. Yeah. Even Johnny Depp had some lines that are like, really? All right. I mean, you're going to become a big star. I guess you'll have to have your horror movie, like your bad acting horror movie. Yeah. But I mean, at some point, some of that's the writing as well. Right. Like Wes Craven's a great director, but I don't know about the writing side of it. Yeah.
Up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's a good line. That's a good one, Wes. That's classic.
Yeah. That's in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's like talking about like I had a boner for her, like dreams about that. It's like, dude, I mean, you're with other people. Like
yeah, he says, I got one with your name written on it.
Oh man.
Anyways,
he's an older guy when he wrote the movie. I mean, he doesn't know how teenagers talk. Maybe in the 80s that's how they talked.
Maybe they did. Yeah, it's very possible.
Doesn't quite translate well today, but you know. So yeah, it's a fun series. It's a really enjoyable, like, the series as a whole. Like, there's definitely problems throughout the series itself, which we will get into as we continue on this. But from the first, as like a first movie of an 18 movie arc, it's good. I really like. I do like this movie a lot. Okay. So, yeah, I think I like Freddy in this one, but I think I like him more in future movies. I feel like he definitely saved quite a few of those movies. Oh yeah, with just his funny one-liners and like his the way he would kill people. Yeah, it was a lot more creative than it was in this movie. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, number one is Freddy. Mm-hmm. This is the birth of an icon.
Number one will always probably be Freddy.
Yeah, for all movies. The movies. His I like his weapon. Mm-hmm. It's pretty unique with the glove with the the razor blades. That's pretty cool. I like his backstory, being a child murderer who got off, of all charges, and so then the families went and burned him alive. And now he haunts the kids in their dreams. Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little backstory. And I like, at times in this movie, his voice, it's not consistent. I like his, like, deep, like, scary voice.
That scene where Nancy's dreaming and Glenn's supposed to wake her up.
Yeah.
And she's like, talking to Glenn, like asking, "Are you there? Are you here?" And then Freddy goes, "I'm here." Like behind her.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good
that was a good scare. Yeah.
That would scare me if I was
yeah.
I was expecting someone else to like answer.
Yeah.
This is Marco Polo.
His voice when it's like that is really cool.
Yeah.
Then there are other times when his voice is just kind of like Robert Englund's voice, so then I don't know, it was a little off. But otherwise, as far as Freddy goes, that voice is awesome. Really cool. Tina's death. Probably my favorite kill in any horror movie, honestly.
Any horror movie,
yeah.
not just Nightmare.
Not just Nightmare. I think this one is so cool, the way it looks and just the brutality of it.
Yeah.
You know, she's in a dream, she's in bed with her boyfriend, and she just gets lifted off the bed, and you see it from the boyfriend's point of view.
Yeah.
So you see her just fly into the air, get slammed against the wall. She's like crawling across the wall and on the ceiling, getting all cut up, and then she falls on the bed and gets slashed. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
And it looks so real. Because it was.
Yeah, yeah.
They actually filmed it in a rotating room so that she would literally slide up the wall and up the ceiling. So I think that scene looks disturbing.
Yeah.
And just so cool.
Yeah.
For, and this is a pretty low budget movie. I looked up the budget. It's $1.8 million, which is, not super low budget, but it's not a lot. And to compare, because this one looked low budget, like the way it looked was pretty low budget, and that might be what you were talking about with the hazy feel that it kind of had.
Yeah,
it looked more low budget to me than Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Halloween's budget $325,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow,
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And that was...
Well, it definitely wasn't on actors, that's for sure.
Yeah. And that's the difference. This one had much better acting. And that's 8 years, too. Difference, too. So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's pretty crazy. I thought you were going to compare that one to, like, the remake.
Oh.
See, like, the difference in...
No, I'm sure the remake has much higher budget.
Yeah. $100 million.
And then after Tina died, then when Nancy sees her in the hallway in the body bag, and then she gets drug across the ground, like that was cool.
Yeah,
that looked cool.
That was.
But then that part is kind of killed with the hall monitor. It was so dumb. It looked so cheesy and stupid. Yeah. Anyways. So, and Nancy, I really like Nancy. She kind of set up this like Home Alone trap house,
Yeah.
Which was cool. So she's kind of the character that fights back, which I like. She can scream. Girl. She can scream really good. When she's like in class and she screams and she's like shaking the desk and everything. Like, I'm like, whoa, that was convincing. I did like that scene too. When the guy is like supposed to be reading at the front of the class, then he starts looking at her and reading. I can't remember what he's talking about, but
kind of like trails off there. Yeah.
That was pretty scary. Oh, of course, the music. Love the music in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the iconic Freddy. Just that just dun, dun, dun. I don't know how it goes, but just, and that's all over the movie, and that's all you really need. Like that is a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like,
yeah,
it has that theme.
Yeah, it is
really
good.
like that.
Yeah, I do like the little 1, 2 first.
Yeah.
That's it's pretty. I mean, it's throughout the entire series, but that's when you know something's about to go down.
Yeah,
when you hear
that's his calling card.
Yeah,
definitely
like that. Like the same little girls jump roping.
Jump roping. Yeah,
yeah.
It's a cool jump rope song, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder if that's supposed to be them as kids. Like 3 of the little. I mean, I think there's 3 little girls. So I don't know.
Yeah.
How many like kids he murdered?
Yeah.
Back then, but if 3 of those were supposed to be like some of his victims or something.
Right. Yeah, they seem to, be like a cheerleader for him.
Yeah.
And then one last thing. There is a scene that I just think is super funny. So, Johnny Depp's character, Glenn, goes over to one of the other characters' house. She's a girl. And he's going to, like, stay the night there. Mm-hmm. And he tells his mom that he's going to go to, like, a friend's house or something. So he has this, like, boom box, like, on the table. And he's going to call his mom. And he's playing... What is he playing? It's just, like... the traffic or something.
It's like it's car horns going off. It's like helicopters. Like
before that, though, he's trying to say like he's on his way to his friend's house or something, or whatever. And so he's trying to pretend like that's what's happening. So he's playing on the boombox. This like
there's a car
tape of like traffic, and so he's talking to her like, "Yeah, I'm on my way to Jimmy's or whatever." And then all of a sudden, it's like sirens and bombs going off. He's like, "Oh no, it's just the neighbors."
I'll call the police. Don't worry.
It was pretty funny.
Man. Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
I wonder if people tried doing that after they saw that movie. It's like, does this actually work? Couldn't do that now. You got Google and all that. Yeah. You can like track that kind of.
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty funny.
That's explosions and
explosions and sirens and helicopters and it's just the neighbors got in a fight. Yeah, I'm calling the police. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that is this movie all a dream? Now, I think that was not intentional, but I think that the argument can be made that once they all talk to each other about Freddy, then, like, almost from there on, it's a dream.
Once everyone talks about Freddy?
Yeah.
At that point?
And because even when it's supposed to not be a dream, when she pulls him out of the dream world, dream stuff is still happening. So, like, when... he was upstairs on fire, like killing her mom. The dad goes in and like covers him with a blanket, right?
Yeah.
And puts him out, and then the mom is like a skeleton, like in the bed, like with lightning in the bed, and it looked really weird.
It did.
And then like, the dad leaves. And then Freddy, like, comes from out of the bed, like, comes up, like, through the sheet.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're in a dream still. It has to be a dream at that point.
Yeah.
And that was not supposed to be a dream. That was supposed to be real. And then he just turns into this, like, glitter when she turns her back to him.
I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Poof. See? Glenn didn't get that opportunity to not be afraid. Just like grabbed.
Yeah, and so I don't know.
Yeah, it is weird. And I don't know if people like saw that when saw everything like that when they first saw it and complained about it and didn't know what was going on. That's why the next ones aren't like that.
Yeah.
Aren't quite as complicated, more straightforward.
It's kind of
like
heavy.
They should be. This is not heavy material we're dealing with here. But yeah, that whole sequence was bizarre. And yeah, just everything I guess leading up to when you were saying the when they're all talking to each other about Freddy.
Yeah.
That whole thing I do remember the haziness. I don't know if it was on that scene going forward, but it was the hazy lens, haziness from the lens was. I did notice that a few times. Mm-hmm. It was closer to the end of the movie though too. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't intentional, but it was forgiven because it was such a unique and cool movie that it was like, we don't have to think about it that hard. It's just a cool slasher, new horror character, Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm. You know, it scared people. Hell, it scared people back when it came out. Mm-hmm. So I think it was kind of overlooked, the inconsistencies of it. Yeah. Whereas today we can be like, oh, what was he really trying to do with this? I think it was just an accident. I don't think he was really trying to make it complicated.
But like, what was he thinking though? In that, like when he was making it, because he had to have been thinking something. Because I don't even know on paper if that worked. if that whole sequence worked even on paper, like it didn't really work when we saw it because it felt like it was a dream sequence. Yeah. So
like it's breaking its own rules. Kinda. But Freddy is not real though either. Mm-hmm. So if he's in the real world, could he do like supernatural things in the real world? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
maybe in this movie he can.
Probably, because I mean, he was killed. Like, so if you're gonna bring someone that obviously isn't real, he's in a dream. He kills in dreams. If you're gonna bring someone out of the dream world into the real world who was a real person but was killed, then maybe that dream Freddy that you brought out can still be magic. Yeah, can still do stuff that he could have done in the dream world, but you can also hurt him. Yeah. In the real world. Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were going for.
More complicated than it needs to be.
I mean, he can kill you in your dreams. You can pull him out, and then he's a real person, and then you can kill him in the real world. That's it. Yeah. That's all you need to do, and that's pretty much what they do for the rest of the series. Yeah. But this one...
But if you kill him in the real world, how does he come back? Every time.
Well, that's another story. We'll talk about that in the next 6 or 7 reviews. So, yeah. And then there's a documentary, Never Sleep Again. Yeah. I know we've watched that together.
That was a good 4-hour documentary.
Yeah. It's good, though.
Yeah, it's
really good. It talks about all the work that goes into the makeup and the practical effects that they use throughout all the films, and just the ideas that they had when they were making it. And Wes Craven never talked about the complicated story in that documentary, and he's in it for quite a bit. Like he talks about his inspirations and stuff for Freddy, and he doesn't talk about how it's all a dream or it being complicated at all.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, maybe that he was just keeping that to himself. I don't know.
Well,
he took it to the grave.
I want to know, Wes. I know you can't tell us now, but
yeah. So, and then there's different directors for pretty much every movie. Yeah, different writers for every movie.
Yeah, I know. Kind of. Come on, Wes. You should have. This is your baby. You got to keep with it.
Yeah, he did 2 of them.
Yeah,
and
out of 9,
2 of the better ones. But yeah, it's a really good documentary. I love it.
I was thinking to actually watch this again yesterday, and I was thinking about like a possible like movie plot idea for like a future series going forward. Okay. And I don't know if you would be able to do this in the first one, but this could either be, I don't want to do this, but a direct sequel to the first, like we've seen so many times lately, or just the sequel to this new series. But what would be cool, because he only attacks on Elm Street. Seems like only people have dreams on Elm Street. Like, it seems like it's a nightmare on Elm Street. So only people think about Freddy Krueger on Elm Street.
Yeah. Although he's the Springwood slasher or
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But what if you took a Scream route?
Okay.
And did what they did in Scream 2, which was make their based on a true story movie idea called Stab. Mm-hmm. And they did that with A Nightmare on Elm Street. Mm-hmm. And because he doesn't attack unless people think about him.
Right.
So if you had a worldwide movie about Freddy Krueger, he could attack anywhere in the entire world.
That's cool. That's a good idea, because then that would make it realistic. Mm-hmm. That would bring it to real life.
Yeah.
Because Freddy is a movie.
Yeah.
So if you make a movie in a movie, then it's that makes it real. And that's sort of what they do in
New Nightmare. Yeah.
Which is, that's a cool movie. Mm-hmm. Can be complicated, but
yeah. But
we'll get there.
But I mean, the first movie wouldn't be. It'd be kind of like what they did in Scream with Stab. Yeah. They'd have a whole different cast in that movie,
right,
and they would keep the name Freddy Krueger,
right.
And then when everyone's thinking about Freddy Krueger all over the world, he would be able to attack anybody,
right?
And you could have
so many people are
each movie could be somewhere else in in the world, and
and there could be
you could have a million
debate about
sequels.
a debate about should they keep the franchise going? Is this a cursed movie? Or these mysterious deaths around the world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could definitely
people
work
dying
off
in their
of,
sleep and stuff. Yeah, I like that.
It's just a movie, and you can't. Kind of like the people thinking that the whole video game thing, or your kids watching horror movies and he kills someone else. It's it's not really related.
Right.
Or playing violent video games, it's not really related. So you could have that type of argument with this as well. So
I like it. It. Good idea. Okay, negatives.
All right.
I don't think we talked about those yet.
Not yet, no.
not officially.
Probably going to have some negatives to say in the future of the series, but I mean, I really enjoyed this movie. It's definitely one of the. It's one of my favorites of the slasher genre, for sure. Behind Halloween, obviously you can't. It's not going to be better than Halloween, but
no. Okay.
I
have no argument there. I just wonder about you.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I hated on the acting of Halloween, it's a more realistic story.
Yeah.
Than A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
This one's fun, but that one's more realistic. Yeah. So it's which one's scarier?
Right.
Something that could actually happen, or something that probably will never happen. So yeah, this is a fun series for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for this one, I think I put the acting in the middle. Mm-hmm. And so the kill scenes they definitely do get more creative as the series goes on.
Yeah.
But I don't really, I don't really have anything to say about negatives.
Yeah. It's good. It's unique, for sure. There's, I don't think you could make a movie like this now and not be criticized for copying Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, Halloween's been copied. So many slashers have been copied.
Yeah.
This cannot be copied because it would be so obvious.
Yeah.
It's such a rip-off. Just a killer killing you in your dreams. You can't do
Freddy,
that.
it's Frederick.
Yeah. You can't do that. Nobody can touch that. That is Freddy Krueger only. So that's cool. And so negatives for me, I would say just, some of the acting, some of the writing. We'll say writing. The twirling, up yours with a twirling lawnmower. That's a classic scene. Classic line.
Great line.
And then just kind of the inconsistencies with the story. And, is it a dream?
Yeah.
Is it not a dream?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a negative. Well,
I put that as a neutral for me because I was I'm not sure if it's positive or negative. It's just, I don't know what to think about that. That aspect of it.
So, from what I know, and I'm sure you probably know this, Wes Craven did not want this to have sequels. He did not make this movie with the intention of that.
Yeah.
It was supposed to end when Freddy turns into glitter.
Yeah.
It was supposed to end there. And then the studio, Robert Shea, at the time, I think he still might be the New Line Cinema, head. But he wanted sequels, so he wanted a chance for sequels, so they added that final scene in where the mom gets taken through the tiny window.
Yeah, so I guess on paper, it wasn't in his scripts, that last part of it. So I guess on paper, on his script, it did make sense as far as the dream ended. Everyone comes back to life. But happily ever after.
That wasn't in his dream or in his script. That whole last scene was not.
It was from the time, it was from the time that he turned to glitter, and that was it.
That was the end of the movie.
But in his end of the movie, did everyone come back, or was it?
I don't think
everyone was dead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that last part where they all come back is where there's the studio got involved.
Oh, okay. Which, by the way, in that documentary, it did say that Nightmare on Elm Street did single-handedly save New Line from going bankrupt.
Yeah.
So, good job there.
Yep.
That was New Line pretty impressive.
Put out a lot of good movies after that, and especially horror movies. So, and still going today, I believe.
I think so.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if they got bought, or I haven't really seen New Line in a while in a movie. Yeah,
maybe they got bought. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like you. I don't know. Maybe it's not a negative. But the glitter thing is a negative. That looked lame.
The glitter.
I mean, it's not literally glitter, but it kind of looks like
basically glitter. Yeah,
CGI glitter, like the 80s cheesy digital effects.
Yeah.
That was kind of lame. So I would say that that's a negative. But yeah, other than that, it's a fun movie. I like putting this one on just randomly. It's just, it's cool. Like putting on a movie like this or Halloween, like just that music, the feel to these movies, the nostalgia, there's something about it, that you just can't quite put your finger on, but it's good stuff.
It is, yeah. I do like this movie.
All right, let's grade it.
All right. So I am giving this one a 91.
All right. I'm going 86.
All right. I was thinking between 89 and 91, but yeah went slightly higher.
Okay. All right.
But
yeah. It's a good one. Okay, so we're going to be doing all of them.
Yeah.
They all have little subtitle names. So the next one will be Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Do you know the subtitle?
I don't remember what the subtitle was.
Freddy's Revenge.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The gayest movie.
This is
the gayest horror film of all time.
This definitely, a lot of people...
Like, literally.
Did not... Yeah.
I'm not trying to make fun of it.
No, yeah. And I think it's... Because of that, a lot of people, when it came out, did not like this movie.
Yeah.
Like, at all. A lot of homophobes out there.
Yeah. Well,
but, yeah. Especially when this one came out. Or that one. We haven't gotten to that one yet, but...
Yeah. But that'll be next. We'll talk about it.
We will.
All right. Well, there's our review for A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Sleep tight.
Don't let
Freddy